Brian?
Gretchen, let me correct you. You're never a former Spice Girl. Your whole life you will be a Spice Girl. Remember this, one of the most infamous bashes held by the General Service Administration back in 2010, costing taxpayers $800,000? Well, it turns out that Smoking Clown and others like it, our big-ticket government conferences like this aren't that unusual after all. They happen regularly. A new congressional report shows taxpayers picked up the tab for at least 894 conferences in 2012 alone, to the tune of $340 million. How were they able to get away with this kind of waste, and how does Congress plan to stop it? Let's ask Congressman Blake Farenthold. He chairs the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform Subcommittee on the Federal Workforce. Congressman, are this all a colossal waste of money, or is there some vital business being done?
For the most part, a good conference is worth the money. But when you see spending like we saw in Las Vegas or with the post office, $2.2 million for a conference in San Francisco, you say, wow, this is too much. I grew up in a travel and tourism town, Corpus Christi, Texas. We see the value of that. But we've got to get the people in these government agencies to realize it's not their money they're spending. It's the taxpayers' hard-earned money.
So let's take a look at the conferences and what they cost per department. You got $89 million for the Department of Defense. I'm sure they could use that for better things. $72.7 million for the Department of Veterans Affairs. I'm sure they would like to see that in their health care plan. $58.7 million to the Justice Department. Over $56 million to Health and Human Services. And other, that column is filled up by $63.5 million. If you're doing smart cuts, you would imagine that these conferences with FaceTime and everything else, these could be one of the things that are cut back.
Listen, it's natural to be cut. Obviously, people need to get together from time to time on a face-to-face basis. But let's use some of these technologies that are free, like, Skype.
Exactly. Hey, now, you say you have a site set up for people to go to if they see a situation like this and want to report it.
Right. Oversight.house.gov is a website you can go to be a whistleblower on wasteful spending in the government or violations by the law. It's a way to get it straight to Congress's attention. Obviously, you can go through the channels in your agency, go to the Inspector General, things like that. But we in the Government Oversight and Reform Committee are committed to doing away with the waste, fraud, and abuse, and the whistleblower website is one way to do it.
Congressman Farenthold, thanks so much for joining us. We've taken a look at this. You know, you would think it would be better to maintenance the USS Abraham Lincoln as opposed to have a conference in Las Vegas with a smoking clown. But that's just us.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Good talking to you, Brian.
All right, Congressman, thanks. Meanwhile, straight ahead. It's one of the craziest stories we've heard.